everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Connect the Dots, a place where we share experiences, build relationships, and learn how to cope with our everyday challenges. My name is Ezra White, and I'm joined with Greta, Carl, and Kylie. And today we have a really fun episode for you folks, and we'll be talking about Enchanted Hills Camp, which is a camp in California, Napa, California, for the blind and visually impaired. But before we begin, let's go around the room, starting to my left, and we can see or meet our guest speakers today.
Hi, my name is Kreda.
What up, y'all? It's Carl.
And I'm Kylie.
And like I said, today we're going to be speaking about Enchanted Hills Camp. Now, the four of us have attended Enchanted Hills Camp for the past few years now, and we all have our different experiences and things we would like to share with you folks today. So let's begin with Kreta. So Kreta, when was the first time you attended Enchanted Hills Camp?
So the first time I attended Enchanted Hills Camp was 2017.
And what did you think of it? What was your first impressions of that camp?
My first impression, like when I got there, it was amazing. But then the first night we got there, it was like pretty dark.
Yeah, it was.
And I was kind of scared. But then when we got to the room, I was tired after that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because it was a long ride on the airplane.
Yeah, it was a long day.
Yeah.
Just wanted traveling. So, what was your favorite activities? Because I know they had archery, horseback riding, karate, arts and crafts. They had goalball at one time.
Oh yeah, we had a goal ball and in my face. The ball came to my face. I was like, I'm not gonna play goal ball.
So which ones were your favorite?
My favorite activity was like going to the Cuba.
And what did you do in the Cuba?
We was doing a talent show.
Talent show, yeah.
Yes.
I love
nice.
talent show too. That's fun. What have you gained from Enchanted Hills Camp? What have you gained to help you in your daily life and to help you deal with your blindness?
Oh, I gained a lot of experience. Like when I'm here in Hawaii, like I don't go out for like camping. But since it was my first time going camping at Enchanted Hills Camp, I thought it was amazing, and I get to go away from my mom for a while, even though I know I wasn't gonna come back home. But it was cool. I can go there. I'm planning to go there next year.
Oh, right on. Yeah, you should come.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What has it taught you about yourself?
It taught me how to be more independent and then do my stuff on my own. And I don't have to ask my mom to do it, but I can easily do it by myself because I know I got this.
Yeah. Because last year, it was Greta's first year at Enchanted Hills Camp, and she was like roaming all over the place, you know. She had the whole camp down by the time we left. It's my third year going. I still don't know half the camp. So, good for you, Greta.
What? What?
Yeah. I still don't know half the campus.
It's a big place, man.
Yeah,
It's a big place.
it is.
I kind of know like any like other places. I think I know where the places are.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Greta.
You're welcome.
Now we're going to move on to Carl. Now, Carl was... I'll let him explain this, but Carl was a CIT and a camper this year. CIT, for you folks, is counselor in training. So he was a counselor for the youth session. There are two sessions, youth and teen. And he was a counselor for the younger age group. So, Carl, when was the first time you attended Enchanted Hills Camp?
All right, so the first time I attended Enchanted Hills Camp was Yeah, 2017, just like Creta. I was just a camper that year. And this year, I went a week earlier than the teen session to visit the youth session for my counselor and training session.
And how was it? How was it like being a CIT compared to a camper?
It's very different in terms of you have to have responsibilities, and it's very professional.
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You gotta abide by the rules. You have to work as a team. You have to, I guess, really just take leadership of everybody in the group. Obviously, it's a little different. You're trying to get the reins a little bit. You will have your support. I have two great co-counselors in Sergio and Billy.
Mm-hmm.
They really helped me out, show me the way. I think the biggest difference, though, for sure, is when you're a camper, you're having fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As a counselor in training, it's lots of fun. You are definitely having fun. But the difference now is you also have to create the fun.
Yeah, yeah.
You are the reason why these youth, these children are having fun, because everybody is different, and making them laugh or making them smile or happy, that was probably one of the biggest differences, because it felt like you really earned it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't kind of like when you're with your friends and you have a conversation and you make a joke and laugh. It's I planted the seed of, okay, I'm gonna start small and build it up, and then as I build it up, it's just one big collective experience of joy and things like that, as opposed to just one small bit of it.
Yeah.
It's a big experience.
And what was the age group?
So we work with elementary age to about high middle schoolers. So we had somebody who was 14, like 1 or 2, and we had somebody, a few people that were in the younger elementary years, first grade, second grade. I don't remember exactly what age yet.
Oh, 6 or 7, around.
Yeah, I think so. Something in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what has being a CIT taught you about yourself? What has it revealed, if you don't mind me asking?
It's funny, but I think it's really shown that I actually am patient.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I really think I'm not that patient, and I
Yeah.
get mad really fast.
Me too.
But I think being in that environment really helps put it in perspective, and you really do think, yeah, I don't think it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the biggest ones that I learned about myself. The others that I work well independently.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times I work in teams a lot, and I always second guess myself.
Yeah.
And this time they really set me free to say, all right, we're trusting you, and you have to execute.
Mm-hmm.
We won't be there always for you to double check and stuff.
Yeah.
So make the good judgment call. And I was able to do that well enough for at least myself to say that I think that is definitely a strength that I walked away with. It wasn't something that I had.
Yes. Would you recommend to someone who is looking for experience to become a leader or a role model, would you recommend them to look into the CIT program with Enchanted Hills Camp?
I definitely recommend it. It also helps you, because when you work with people that are the same age as you or fairly relatively the same circumstance, it makes it really easy.
Yes.
But because there's that difference in age, or if you become a CIT and you volunteer to do other sessions, the diversity really helps you make it a rounded skill.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it so where you aren't confined and you're not limited. So it does challenge you, and it's a different challenge every time. It's not one continuous pain, or not pain, but it's not the same. It's not the same trial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's always a different challenge and a different obstacle, and the problem solving element. It's really fun.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because every person's different.
Yeah.
There were some people that they didn't like certain things, and we had to just learn and adapt. And learning that about people is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Another one for people who are trying to be leaders in the community and take initiative, it really helps sometimes to get the perspective of the other person.
Yeah.
What it's like to grow up that way. I know because we had a few CITs that were actually cited. Shout out to my boy Jamie. And he learned a lot. He was there the year before. I didn't know him last year. But he definitely learned a lot about how to communicate with people who are vision impaired or blind. And I think it's very beneficial for people that are sighted to do it, because they get to experience life on the other side,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not very ignorant about it.
Yeah.
Not saying that people who are sighted are, but if you just don't know about it, you don't know about it, and it's a good opportunity to learn.
Mm-hmm. So we've been talking about the whole professional, I guess, the whole professional side of Enchanted Hills Camp.
Right.
So let's get to your side of being a camper.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your first impression when you first went to Enchanted Hills Camp last year?
That's something very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
When I first went to EHC, I wasn't really expecting anything.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to give that to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to give myself any preconceived notions, because I knew they'd immediately be broken.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's that age group never exposed to it.
Yeah.
When I was with the teens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just said, okay, I'm just gonna let it go.
Mm-hmm.
But that helped a lot. The first impression that I got when I was exposed to people, because we came when nobody was there.
Yeah.
It was empty. Like Kratos said, it was dark, very, very dark. You could see the stars.
Yeah.
I think once I immersed myself, I thought, wow, this place is so lively.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wouldn't look like it when we were there by ourselves. You know, it wouldn't seem like it. It wouldn't
Oh yeah.
sound like it
For
at
sure.
all. It's just so quiet and tranquil. But when everybody's there, everybody's smiling, laughing,
Mm-hmm.
chopping it up, that's about what my real first impression was.
Yeah.
This place is alive.
So what were some of your favorite activities that you partook in?
My favorite activities probably be karate. I got my yellow belt.
Oh, that's for sure.
The radio room.
Oh, for sure.
That's music is such an interesting thing, because it's people's. You can tell a person's background from music.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the difference in perception. You get to learn about people's perspective.
Yeah.
Because music is very opinionated.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
People have their opinions about music, and what I learned from that, even though this is supposed to be just for the fun and stuff, this is actually a big takeaway that I really owe to the radio room, was that just because there's a difference in opinion about music, it doesn't mean it's bad.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Because after camp, I started branching out, listening to different things, and I began to realize you can't close yourself off just because you brand it or you have an opinion about it.
Yeah, for sure.
You really got to just try it out, listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Car, for being with us today. Thank you so much.
You too.
And next we will be speaking to Kylie, who is a relatively new individual of Enchanted Hills Camp, and I will let her explain about that. So Kylie, how long have you been attending EAC.
Actually, this past August, was it August or was it July?
July.
July.
This past July was my first time at Enchanted Hills Camp.
Wow.
Yeah.
What'd you think of it when you first got there?
I was just, I mean, I heard about all the fun things that you guys got to do, and I was excited. I mean, we also got there because we did have to travel to a different state to get there. You know, we get there before everybody else, and
Yeah.
I'm just standing there waiting, like, what's gonna happen?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it was, I mean, again, amazed to be around. Honestly, I'm not sure I've been around more blind or visually impaired people in my entire life. I don't think so. So that was just amazing to see all these different people, you know, doing all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just amazing to me.
And what was your role there? Because you were a camper, right? You were a volunteer?
I don't know what I was. I mean, because part of it was I was technically too old to be a camper,
Mm-hmm.
but because I'm a volunteer that happened to be visually impaired, that happened to never been there before, so they're kind of like, well, you just, you know, I kind of got to behave like a camper, and I could help out wherever I felt that I could.
Yeah. Okay. And what have you gained or took away from this experience this year?
Honestly, I mean, I think I got so much out of it that I'm still trying to process that.
Yeah.
Because, like, that was, well, the first thing that, to note is that was my first time traveling without family.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just to see that maybe I can, you know, travel on my own. I mean, I know that I will be able to eventually. It's definitely something in my future, but maybe I'm closer to that than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Also that I did, unfortunately, you know, come down with a bit of a cold or some kind of, I caught something on the trip, and to be able to know that I was able to somewhat take care of myself,
Yeah.
you know, in that living, you know, situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it really opened my eyes to what I was capable of, because even as I came home and we started putting this podcast together and realizing that I think the big thing was transportation, that I'm unable to, you know, if I can travel to the mainland,
Mm-hmm.
then, I mean, why not come here and learn the bus system?
Yep.
You know? And that has opened, you know, I feel like camp has triggered so many of these changes and moving towards independence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you did participate in some of the activities.
Mostly,
Yeah. Which one was your favorite?
The biggest that are coming into mind are the ones that we did on this building called the Hogan. So it's basically your arts and crafts.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, first thing I think I did was I did a sculpture.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I did forget it there. But I showed pictures to family back home, and they're like, "Oh, that's pretty good."
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I did ask for some help, some, you know, critique, opinions,
Mm-hmm.
which probably helped. And I was like, man, I wish I brought that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh. And then the other thing was we made this lanyard. This basically you're weaving these square knots just stacked on top of each other, and I thought, well, this is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started making those like for my sister to take to her school for, you know, just something that I like to do on the side.
Yes.
And you know, just looking into it and seeing that was actually a thing. There's like a billion different knots and ways to tie and design those things. It's pretty trippy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you so much, Kylie, for that.
Yeah.
So Enchanted Hills Camp it truly is a magical place, because I've been going there for 3 years now. The first year I went was back in 2016, and that year I went all by myself. So I was the only one from the state of Hawaii at that camp. And when I first got there, I got there around 1:30 in the morning. So it's just me and the camp director. That's it. And my first impressions was, wow, this is so different than everything back home. But you know, it was a good experience for me, because it really opened my mind up to new cultures, new beliefs, everything that is so different. It was a big cultural difference for me, and I truly believe that it helped me navigate to be more open-minded, more accepting, more tolerant of everyone, and besides their beliefs and their culture and whatnot. So I would say Enchanted Hills Camp is truly an amazing place, and I truly recommend anyone listening to this that you should look into visiting.
And before sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I interrupt you. One thing, if you're interested, please go visit. The Enchanted Hills Camp is operated by Lighthouse for the Blind in San Francisco. You can go to their website. It's lighthouse-sf.org. And then there's a tab that talks about Enchanted Hills Camp, and you can explore all the information and things like that.
Like Disney World for the blind.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I think bigger actually.
Right?
Yeah, it's a big camp. It's about 311 acres. So I read somewhere.
Oh.
It's pretty big.
And it's how old?
Just make sure you drink a lot of water if you decide to go. It gets really hot. Really hot.
Shout outs to Chris for the igloos.
Yeah.
It gets really hot out there.
Yeah, it really does. But thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Thank you so much to our guest speakers. And thank you so much to everyone who tuned in to watch this episode, or listen to this episode, I guess. If you have any questions, comments regarding Enchanted Hills Camp or anything at all, please feel free to email connectthedots@guidedogsofhawaii.org, and we will get back to you shortly. So please stay tuned for our next episode. Mahalo.